Link, you smell like a woman.
There's a reason.
My name's Brett, and I'm from Michigan. Let's talk about that.
Good mythical morning.
This episode is brought to you by Catulas.com, the guys with the goods. They have the stuff that when you get it, your friends will wish they also had it.
I like that, Link. If you liked any of the products we've talked about so far on the show, you know what you can do? You can sign up for exclusive email deals, and you can get the Catulas catalog full of all the stuff that we've talked about and a whole lot more stuff that we will be talking about.
Like a snowball blaster.
Snowball blaster. And you can get this sent to your house for free. Either go to Catulas.com or just follow the links in the description.
Thank you once again for making your morning mythical, even if it's not the morning when you're watching. Thanks also for those of you who have made this podcast successful on iTunes, audio versions and video versions available. We're number 12 in the video podcast section of iTunes.
Well, the comedy video podcast.
Yes, thank you.
You wanted to take credit and say that we were number 12 over all podcasts. And we could falsely advertise that, but it wouldn't be true. I was reading one of the reviews over there by Brenna Boyd. She said, I was looking for a podcast to listen to while I carpool to school. Something my sister, 2 friends, and I would like. We aren't morning people. Yet somehow when we get out of the warm car into the cold, bitter wind, we are still laughing and smiling at this podcast. It brightens our mornings each day.
That brightens my morning. That makes me smile when I go out into the bitter winds of Southern California. Thanks for leaving a review, Brianna.
If you've got Brenna. If you've got stories like that of how you've incorporated Good Mythical Morning into your day, most of you watch here on YouTube. You experience it. You can comment and you can do all that, and that's great. Some of you are experiencing it over in the iTunes store. That's great. However you experience it, let us know. Make a video response. Say, hey, I'm getting into the bitter cold. I'm thinking about Good Mythical Morning. However.
Last week, in a previous episode, I shared that, under an impulse buy, a rare impulse buy in the grocery store, I bought Old Spice deodorant. Mm-hmm. I also shared with you people that for the previous few weeks, I have been using my wife's roll-on deodorant because my deodorant, it ran out.
And it's been, it smells flowery in here. You know how sometimes a woman enters a room and it's like all of a sudden it smells good? Yeah. You've kind of been the woman here for the past couple of weeks. So I appreciate it.
Well,
I'm glad you're wearing women's deodorant. I think you should continue.
Well, the Old Spice deodorant was men's deodorant. But what has happened is I've gone back, people. I have gone back to my wife's deodorant. The roll-on. I love the Old Spice commercials. This is nothing against Old Spice, but it didn't work for me. Listen, I don't know if this is groundbreaking news for you, but I am thoroughly convinced that I am immune to Old Spice antiperspirant / deodorant. It doesn't matter how good the advertisements are, I'm sweating. I started putting it on and I realized I get the trickle. I'm getting the trickle. It's not even lunchtime yet.
The dreaded trickle.
I notice that I'm getting the trickle. It's like, at first you think, are there bugs crawling out of my armpits? Moist bugs?
It's just a drop of sweat.
Thank goodness it's just sweat. That's looking on the bright side. But the dark side is I'm immune to my deodorant. Did you know that this could happen, people?
I've experienced it.
Did you know that you could become totally immune to your antiperspirant?
I cycle ever since I was old enough to use deodorant, which I guess is what like 8th grade. I've been cycling through because I found, I remember we were at Buies Creek Elementary School. Somehow we were in elementary school through 8th grade, which is confusing in itself. But I remember some of our friends, like Sarah, I specifically remember Sarah John, who you ended up dating later.
Yes, I did.
Said, you can become immune to your deodorant.
Really? Like, even back then?
Oh, yeah.
You didn't, and you're just telling me now?
You didn't know about this?
I don't remember knowing about it.
No, she was like, you can become immune to your deodorant. I was like, And then about 2 or 3 months later, after I was into my first round of whatever it was, right guard at the time or whatever, I started noticing all of a sudden one day, I was just like, it was like 12 o'clock, and I was like, I stink. And it wasn't even sweat yet. It was just all of a sudden I stunk, and then I stunk for like a week. And then I was like, I got to do something. And that was when she told me, you got to switch. I switched to a different one. Boom, I was good again until I became immune to that one.
Now, for me, it's pretty much when I get done with one, I think I've just stumbled into getting a different one because you go back and there's so many choices. And of course, I base my decision on the price and the scent. And then I end up getting a different one. So I think, I bypassed this immunity thing this whole time. But in just getting a different kind every time I went to get the new one.
But it is a phenomenon. Right?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I've done some research, and here's the thing that I found is that when I Googled this, I expected, immediately someone was going to give an explanation. Now, I did learn a lot about. First of all, there's a difference between deodorant and antiperspirant, but I couldn't find anybody. I could find a lot of people talking about the fact that they were immune to their antiperspirant, but I couldn't find any doctors giving definitive answers that yes, you can become immune to your antiperspirant. And you need to do what you're saying, which is rotate it around and to get a new one every single time.
Well,
I find it, so anecdotal evidence is insurmountable on the internet, and you can support it in the comments. But among the medical community, at least in terms of what I could find on the internet, is I was surprised that there wasn't a definitive answer.
I think the deodorant companies are lobbying with the medical community because this is bad for the deodorant companies, because if you're a Old Spice or Right Guard or whatever, you don't want to publicly acknowledge that you become immune to it.
Yeah, because then you'll choose another brand.
So
I'm not going to buy Old Spice anymore because I think it's my problem. Again, it's not Old Spice's problem, but I'm not going to buy it anymore because I think that I'm immune to it.
And I think I have had different stages where I become immune to the antiperspirant. Like all of a sudden I'll feel a trickle.
Yeah.
And then I've had times where I just become immune to the deodorant.
Now, let me clarify at this point. According to my research, deodorant makes you not stink. Now, if you're going into the locker room, you're about to play basketball or something, you might as well just put on deodorant because you're going to sweat. And you don't need to avoid sweating, but you need to avoid stinking.
Well, not when you're playing basketball. I think it could be when you post up on somebody. It could be like some sort of offensive mechanism.
Right, exactly. You want to sweat.
You want to smell.
You want to stink.
You want to smell like a horse on the basketball court. Let me tell you. I was about my basketball days.
Yeah, you stunk.
I would rub things like trash up under there.
And then you would.
Yeah,
that's good. Thank you for that.
That was my secret. I just gave it away. You youngsters out there learning basketball, make yourself stink. You'll score an extra 2 points a game.
I'm going to get a little educational here, so bear with me. There's 2 different types of glands.
Whoa, glands.
In your skin. And one of them, I don't know the names, so we can throw them down there, but one gland, it just spits out like proteins and fats, which then bacteria start attacking and make it stink. Mm-hmm. They make it stink.
Bacteria make it stink.
There's a totally different gland that makes you sweat, and all that comes out of that gland is water and salt. It doesn't stink. It just, when it evaporates, it cools you off. It's like an internal air conditioner for humans.
Right.
But they're 2 totally different things. Now, you got to make sure that you don't just buy a deodorant if you don't want to sweat, because a deodorant makes you not stink, but it doesn't make you not sweat. 2 different things. They target 2 different glands.
But then there's the whole aluminum thing, though.
Right. Antiperspirant, the active ingredient is aluminum, or I think it's zirconium or zinc or something like that. Something with a Z.
Some element.
But it basically, it clogs up your sweat pores down there so that no sweat can come out.
See, I think some people would say that's unnatural, that we should just let nature happen up under here. You know what I'm saying? Let nature happen here, happen in other people's faces, and just get over it as a culture. I tried, because I was kind of freaked out about reading about this aluminum and how it can cause Alzheimer's and all this different stuff. I went to the straight up Whole Foods just deodorant, just like putting a flower up under there.
Yeah.
That stuff doesn't work.
You'll have a river flowing out.
I smell like a horse again. Very soon, like an hour later, I smell like a horse. Then, our good friend Greg was like, I'm using the crystal. He had some kind of special crystal.
He said, I got a rock.
Is it magical?
That is
like some kind of new age thing? He was like, no, it kills the bacteria. So I got the crystal. It's like a Thai deodorant, they call it.
And you're supposed to wet it before you put it on.
You put it under the sink and then you rub it. And I was like, this is pretty cool. I got a crystal up under my arm. I used it.
What's the point of an antiperspirant that you've got to get wet and then put under your arm in order to stay dry? First of all, that's backwards.
Because it transfers the contents of the crystal into the underarm region, and then that dries. And you kind of have to let it dry a little bit. You have to wait to put your clothes on, which is kind of inconvenient.
Brush your teeth like this.
But I was using the thing for about 2 weeks, and I was like, I don't think it's working that well. And then one day I was just like smelling the crystal. I picked up the actual crystal before I put it on. Dry. I smelled it. It smelled like BO. How well can this crystal be working if it's BO on the crystal?
Well, maybe it's taking it off of you. It's like a sponge. You know, you don't know if you're cleaning unless the sponge gets dirty. Leave a comment and let us know if you've ever been immune or become immune to your antiperspirant or your deodorant, or if you've used one of those rocks under your arm. We're pretty certain those don't work.
I don't know. It might work for you, but I've got horse underarms, and I'm a big man.
Basketball.
Played a lot of basketball, you know?
Here we go, spinning the wheel, seeing how this thing is going to end. Submit your ideas for how we should end the episodes of Good Mythical Morning. We'd add them to the wheel if it's something we can do in like a few seconds. Make it something doable, people. Help us out here.
Rhett leaves angry.
Okay, so we're sitting here, we're ending the show. I don't know if you're getting offended. Just get mad and leave. Well, this has been great. I think we learned a lot today. And you know,
I'm leaving.
I feel like more of a whole person who maybe smells better. Oh, he really was angry.